Welcome again. Another Friday, another episode. And today you're wearing something special.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It's different. I feel like.
Do you feel left out?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, well, I'll tell you in a moment how you can join in as well.
Okay, well, very good. So everyone, welcome in for this new episode. So episode 92. And this is the second one for this week. So
Yes.
fantastic.
We had a special one last night.
Absolutely. So welcome, Henry, James, Tony. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. So last night we had another episode with Simon Healy. So it was another special one like we done with Jeff Hammond probably 3 weeks ago. So it was a very specific episode, which actually really was very, very refreshing and interesting.
Really focused on one particular car that Simon uses, and it was the Yokomo YZ2.
That's it.
Yeah.
So it was an hour and 7 minutes and 53 seconds of,
Really?
I think it was about that actually, of this discussion in relation to a two-wheel drive buggy.
That's right. And
Very
it was
in-depth.
really in-depth and quite personal too, because there was quite a lot of discussion about what Simon does with his particular cars and his mindset, and also what he does to tune his car.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
And then again, if you're racing, I guess you get a lot out of it in the sense that there are lots of small tips that often you learn with experience, really, and just trial and error. But if you're not racing, you probably get to discover like something so new that I guess no one ever thought that with a remote control car or even a toy car, like we sometimes call them, you can actually do that much, really. So that was brilliant.
Yeah, really interesting.
Absolutely. So today we're going to talk about some trains. So Marling is going to pop in with some brand new trains, some really good ones. And then we're going to have some new releases from God Hands.
Yes. And we've got this.
We're going to have
Should we talk
car
about
of the
that?
day. That's it. What's the plan?
What is this car? Okay, so we need to know the maker of the car, the model of the car,
Yes.
and the color. If you can pick the color as well, that'll be fantastic.
The color is phenomenal. Needless to say.
Looks like a candy apple.
It is. It's not.
Yeah, I
How do you
wouldn't
say
eat
candy
this.
apple in Italian? I don't know. I'll have to Google that.
How do you say apple?
Mela.
How do you say candy?
I don't know. Lolly. Like a. Don't know. We'll have to do a research. That's it.
All right.
Travis, there's Lot Car Guy, is here. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
So for everyone, Travis has a really cool YouTube channel, and he talks about slot car.
He does.
So he's and diecast, I think, a little bit as well. So he's been into slot cars for forever, and he's got a massive collections, does reviews and all that. So jump on YouTube and check out that slot car guy.
It's got a really nice massive track too.
And he's
In
a
the shed.
beautiful track. So very nice channel. So as you find him here, that's his name here. You find him on YouTube. So jump there and check it out. So great channel. Oh yes, cool. There's a good suggestion here.
What's that?
Well, the yellow logo is giving it away, I think.
What do you mean? It could be any yellow logo.
It could be any yellow logo. All right, I'll make it disappear. That's it. Stealth now.
Magic.
All right, guys. So let's try guessing. I think someone here, James, is suggesting is a Ferrari, which
No.
is obvious by now.
All right.
So let's bring it back.
Because
gone.
there's the other yellow logo on the side there as well.
There's also yellow logo, so I need to keep a finger there.
Yep.
Anyways, it's brand new release actually, this one. So let's keep guessing. So what do we talk about? Where do we start?
Where do we start?
Do we start from your apron?
What's my apron going to say?
I don't know. It's going to give it away, I think.
This is God Hand. Because it's a God Hand apron.
That's it. So these arrived literally half an hour ago.
I did. Very fresh.
DJ opened the box, put it on, and
That's
we haven't
it.
been able to take it away from him.
No, it's really hot in here, but I can't take it off. I feel too special.
That's it.
Now, why have I got this on? Because we've got a lot of new God Hand tools that have come in. And should we go through them?
Absolutely, we should.
Okay, so this is one of them. So this is the apron, but it's not an apron by itself. It's going to come in a special set. So I'll put it right there. All right. Now, God Hand had some special sets available at the start of the year, like a New Year's set. And one of the most popular ones was the beginner's type
That's
set
right.
that came with the really nice SPN 120 side cutters. And they sold out really quickly. And it's great that they've brought out this one. This is part of their anniversary range. And this one comes with this particular apron, which is a Japanese style apron. And, you know, one size fits all. It's fully adjustable around with these straps. Then it also comes with, there's the SBN 120 nipper, which is their best ultimate nipper. And then there's also the paintbrushes, standard set of paintbrushes, and also the full set of sample sanding pads. Okay, so that's their sample sanding pad, which has one of every single size and grit available. So one of those, you love these, right?
This is one of the best sets that you can buy. I think we can buy those, can we?
Yes,
They
we
have
got
a
those in
mix
stock.
set. It's probably one of the best sets to have.
Yep.
Because as you do modeling, you're going to end up using all of them.
Yep.
And it's phenomenal. Different thicknesses, different flexibility, different grit, obviously.
Yep.
Best set ever, really.
Yeah. And then from there, once you get used to a particular one and you like that feel, then you can actually buy the larger packs. And you can chop them down or use them as a full length as well. Right. There's a cutter again, and then there's a set of brushes. So this is a perfect set for a beginner. You get the best cutters available in the world, then a full set of the different sanding sponges, and then you've got a set of good quality brushes as well.
That's it.
And they'll get you going. And then, of course, you also got the apron that'll keep you clean.
That's it. You can put stuff in there. It looks like
that's right. See,
you fill up your pockets already.
That's right. So I've got all the different colored pins in here. I had to look the part. Mad scientist, you got all those there. Put your paintbrushes in there. You put your scalpels in there and cut yourself.
Or you put in a bigger pocket down there.
Well, I've got there's big pockets here too, and I've got something new in here. One of these. Okay, so this is a new amazing cutter. If you're familiar with Guide Hand Tools, they do have an amazing cutter which is quite large. So the jaw's about so big, double the length.
Yep.
And they're designed for people doing a lot of scratch building, for cutting large sheets. And it basically acts like a shear. It's got a blade which is replaceable across one side. It's held in there by some grub screws with a clamp action. And this is basically just one of those snappy type blades that you use in those sliding knives. So you just snap it to this length, and then you adjust it as you close it here to meet exactly with this white Teflon
on the top
pad. So you can see the action there.
It's probably hard to see because you've got a white Teflon, but you see the white Teflon on this side.
Yep. So there's a sheet of white Teflon here. That's clamped in as well, so you can adjust that. Oh, I think I just cut myself. So that it meets exactly there.
Cuts flat, pretty much.
And you can see the action right here. This is how it's getting all this cutting leverage. So you don't need a lot of motion, but it cuts through really thick stuff. Okay, so this particular medium-sized one is designed to cut through either rod or square solid plastic up to 5 mil, and it'll cut through sheet plastic up to 3 mil.
Yep.
Okay, so I've got a piece of plastic here.
Got everything in these pockets.
Yep. This isn't quite 3 mil. This is probably 1.5 mil.
Yep.
But I tried it out before. It was quite amazing, and hence why they call it an amazing cutter, right? Might be a bit hard to see because I've got white plastic on white plastic. I got that. Okay, so I'm just going to go through here. So this length here is probably about 2.5 centimeters long, and just with a little squeeze.
Here we go.
Just cut that off. Now I cut off some really thin bits as well, but from there.
Can you half it?
What, from here?
Yeah.
I reckon. Yeah. I put it in here and I don't cut myself. Yeah. Let me see if I can get this fine slice.
I think it's pretty good actually. Go. That's it. Well done.
All right, so we've got that really thin bit, which is like 1 mil now.
Yep.
White on white is probably not the best, but there you go. You can see those there.
Really fine.
I might zoom this in so you can have a better idea what these blades look like. Gone the right way? Gone too far, I think.
That's it, almost. No, not quite.
Right. Pull it back a bit.
That's it.
That's better.
There we go.
Actually, so from there, you can see that blade there. You can see how it's got those snappy bits. Okay, so that's one of the thinner type snappy blades. And then on the bottom, this is actually, you can see the white there. It's a Teflon sheet. And then you see the screws on either side of those jaws. So you just undo those and you can quite easily replace a blade. So if you used a box cutter before, you know how sharp these can be and how good they are when they're fresh. So you quite easily just take that out and put in a new one. Keep using it. So quite amazing.
It's very interesting, this concept of the blades, because when you have this kind of nippers, once you go blunt, they're blunt. That's it.
That's
and
right.
This one you can keep maintaining it. So it's actually
super sharp.
Look at this.
Is that gone too
You're
far?
doing that because I have to do the cleaning this afternoon.
Oh yeah.
That's brilliant.
So if you need to cut a lot of stuff, I mean, this is if for example you were cutting a whole heap of tiles for a diorama. Okay, you can see how quickly I cut all those.
Ah, true that.
You know, you just do the chop. Okay, there's the size of a brick right there. You can see how quickly you can do this, particularly if you're doing a lot of tiles. You probably need like hundreds of them.
You want to be quick.
And that's going to be really handy. The full-size Amazing Cutter is actually quite expensive. But this one, I think, is really good for
the value.
Yeah.
And the fact that for the longevity too, because when you cut these things, occasionally you could break the blade.
Yes,
you know, even on a normal side cutter or whatsoever. And in this case, you simply replace the blade, and you're good again.
So I've got a bit of tubing as well.
Oh, let's jump back.
That's probably about 5 mil. It's a round tube, and this will just.
Wow. Oh, gone.
Just quite easily chopping through it.
That's it.
I mean, the only other way you'll be cutting this is to use a scalpel, and you'll be rolling across, and there's chances that you cut yourself.
And it's still not going to be perfectly flat, I would say. You know, when you or vertical.
Yeah,
cut.
that's right.
So this is going to be quite clean.
So that's quite ingenious, and it's great that they made this medium-sized one. So I really like that. Okay,
I agree.
So that's not the only thing.
Ah, this is a
well, this is a favorite. Right, so we actually sold out of all these mega magnifying glasses
a few times.
And so we've got these back in stock now. So if you're waiting for one of these, they're back. So they literally just arrived, so they're probably not on the website yet, but they will be shortly.
Absolutely.
So this is really good. And then if we go through the new stuff, then we also have some new pin vices. Okay, and they're basically the same design, but got different ends on them.
Yeah, that's very interesting, actually.
Okay, so these are the short shanked ones. Now, the short shanked pin vices, these were initially designed for using like chisels. Now, if we look here, maybe I would just see here, this is the original design. It had that big head on it.
Kind of a hex.
Yep. And they've redesigned it to have the smaller round head on it. Okay, as you can see there. So the idea is when you're using this for chiseling, when it sits in the palm of your hand like this, as you rotate it, it feels much smoother down here. So it's not really digging in anymore. So as you can see, as you rotate it, so it's more comfortable. And as you're using this for chiseling, you're holding it and you're chiseling things like this, it's just much more comfortable within your hand there. So that's that one there. So it's got the chuck on it. It's got a deep set chuck. So it's designed to take the 3 mil shanks that are on most of those chisels. So that's the first version. And then they've got this one here, which is basically the same thing, but you see that the end is different. So this is the hex type, and it's designed to take the new hex ended drill bits, okay, which I have quite a selection here. Okay, so earlier they had released a special set, which was a hex type drill bit adapters, and that was really popular. That sold out really quickly too, and it wasn't available separately. So I think they've heard from a lot of users that they really like this idea of a quick exchange drill bit, because rather than having to change your shanks, any one of these, you've got the A, B, C, and D set, which is exactly the same as the original God Hand sets. They'll just drop straight in, held in with a magnet, and then you can drill away. Okay, so if we just pick something.
So you go from 0.5 millimeter all the way up to almost 3 millimeters.
That's right. Okay, because you've got the threes here.
Yeah,
and these are the in-betweens.
Yes.
Okay, so that sort of fits in there, and this one, sort of fits in here.
So you go from 0.5 to 0.9.
Yep.
Then you go 1.1 to 1.9.
Yep.
Then here you jump 1 to 3 in half a millimeter increment.
Yep.
Then you go very fine again, 2.1 to 2.9.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yep. So just to show you quickly, let's just open up one of these.
Now, we've done videos on some of these drill bits already.
Yes, we have.
It's important that you actually have to try them.
Yes.
And the video shows how sharp they are compared to a different brand drill bit.
Well, that's right. So as we just push it in, so you can just hear that click. So that click was actually the magnet, and that's holding it in place.
And it's very reasonably strong magnet, so it actually sits in really well.
That's right. And then from there, you can just drill away. But if you need to change your size, you can just pull it straight out and just put in the next one. Okay, you can go to a small one like this without even changing any shanks. Because normally if you change from that size, you need to undo everything, change a shank, retighten it up.
Yeah.
But there you go, off you go.
Especially when you go from the 1 millimeter to the 3, you have a massive, kind of the change of the shank and all that, but in this case, it's just really quick.
That's right. And they feel really smooth because they actually have a single bearing in the
Yeah.
back here, so that it's nice and smooth.
Yeah.
Yep. And then it's really easy action. Just pull it off, stick it back in the little holder.
Off you go.
That's it.
Everyone, if you jump on our YouTube channel, you'll find the video that we did on the drill bits,
Yeah.
and it's nice comparison. They actually, once you actually use them, it makes a massive difference.
That's huge because I guess the small ones you don't really realize because there weren't a lot available.
Yes,
So I guess we just got used to average tools.
that's right.
But when you compare it to these and how well they cut, they actually cut well and they cut cleanly.
And you don't need to put much pressure, so there's
No,
less
that's
chance
right.
of breaking them.
Yes.
And often enough, you use them with before using spin blades. So
Yes.
when you pre-drill for, say, spin blades or
Yes,
some of
that's
these
right.
other, I guess, drilling accessories that they produce,
Yep.
and it does produce a very clean cut. So
Yes.
when you're going with the spin blades, it doesn't catch, just goes in really smoothly.
That's right.
So lots of options there. So
Yep.
really, really exciting.
So the interesting thing is God Hand, they make some amazing tools and they're very niche.
Yes.
And it takes a little bit of understanding to fully appreciate what they're designed to do because there's quite a bit of thought behind them. They're not just simply a drill bit.
Yep.
They're a super fine precision drill bit. And then even with these two short pin vices, they don't look like much different, but they are made for specific purposes and they do have a particular idea behind them to make
Correct.
modeling much easier and pleasurable.
And I guess better quality after all, because if you have a tool that works really well, the
Yes.
outcome will be obviously much better.
That's right. And also they're designed to last a long time. So if you've got one of these, as long as you don't lose it, you'll be using this for
Forever.
a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
These are forever tool.
Yes.
Absolutely. Excellent.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it in God Hand.
That is it. So
Yep. So we've got a restock of all the other favorites as well. But look out for these new things
yes,
because these are all great addition.
excellent.
Yeah.
Well, so while we pack this,
Yep.
I think Brett is nearby.
Brett's nearby, is he?
Ah,
Is
here,
he
so
sneaking around the background there
can I
somewhere?
have my
Oh, which one do you
Yeah,
want?
thank you. This
Oh,
is
that
mine.
one? Oh, okay.
All right, let's
All right.
repack this.
Yep. Put this aside.
I can see Brett has got so much stuff today. He's got new tires since last week. You've seen him already, but he hasn't.
What have I walked into? A cooking show?
What do you mean?
Well,
What's
yeah,
the apron for?
For cooking.
What are we cooking?
it's for gluing tires.
Cooking up some entertainment gold. That's what we're cooking up.
That's it.
Oh.
Oh! Flat landed your arm.
Was that a bit of
Hello,
entertainment gold?
everybody, and thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming in, mate.
Let's take a quick
So we
walk down memory lane to last Friday.
exactly.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, we've been talking about tires.
About 1:30 p.m. last Friday, we had a shipment of Hot Race tyres come in,
That's it.
Yep.
which is a brand new product, a brand new world launch, brand new
Yep.
to Australia. However, being in Australia, well, being customs and logistics at the moment, we only got half of our shipment.
That's it.
So now we can talk to you about how the race went. We actually took it out for a club race on Sunday.
Yep.
And did some testing. We had like 3 or 4 guys tried them out. I run them all day on the 4-wheel drive.
Yep.
Over at Keeler, which is a hard track. We use the Sahara, these style here.
Yep, this bar style.
Yeah, and we've discovered a few things. We've learnt a few things since Friday.
Mhm.
We've learnt a lot.
Yep.
So, in fact, the 4-wheel drive front is a fantastic fit on the 2-wheel drives.
As well.
So that really cuts down. There's a 4-wheel drive fitted, and they really suit used sweep inserts really well.
That's right.
The shape of the carcass and when you glue them up. And they come, like I said last week, they come without inserts at all. So you can, in fact, use up your bags of old inserts that you've got lying around.
Which is a big
Which
saving
is-
after all.
A big saving, and it is such a waste to throw them out.
Yep.
So you can sort of fly the environmental flag there a bit because
That's
you're
it.
not just throwing them out all the time because they are perfectly reusable.
Absolutely, yeah.
And sometimes actually the inserts can,
Improve.
worn inserts
Yeah.
can improve to a point because it's effectively like changing the air pressure in your tires.
That's right.
And certain air pressures, while certain inserts are good for certain conditions.
And it's particularly important when you have slightly different size insert. There is a small gap between the insert and the tire normally.
Yeah.
And based on the depth of that gap, it gives a different performance.
Yeah.
Often it's got to
Yeah.
do with gaining temperature. It's like when you
Gain
inflate your
temperature. Yeah.
tires of your real car, and if they're too inflated and don't get as hot.
Yeah.
So in Formula One, when they drop, the pressure in the tires, it's because they need more temperature on the tires.
Yeah, because they get more movement of more of the rubber, more contact patch,
Exactly.
And generates more heat, more friction in the tire. That said, they can also get to a point where they overheat,
And so
then
you
they
need
drop
to
off.
go
So you go up in temperature too. Anyway, so inserts can do that. Now they're available in 3 compounds.
Yep.
Last week we had clay in the rear compound,
Yep.
and I had soft on the front. Now we've got clay, which is the firmest. We've got soft, and we've got super soft.
Right.
And now I wish I did have the soft and the super soft to try out. But on the 4-wheel drive, the clay on the rear was fantastic. Like it was just as good as anything else on the day. I really wonder the potential of the soft tires. So I've glued up a few sets. So people tried them out, and the feedback was pretty positive.
Very positive.
For a brand new product, essentially, that's getting developed as it's getting released.
Yeah.
So we've been able to give the Italian factory feedback already.
Yep.
And ways and go to development and stuff, and
Yep.
they're going to take that on board, and the next shipment will be, a little bit better again.
That's right. Yep. I don't even know if this Sahara has been yet released.
Yeah, I don't think it has. I
it's
haven't seen it.
So the Bangkok, which is like let's put it in top camera. It's like a pin
block
large
style.
block style tire with, and the Bangkok and the Sahara is more of a bar tire you see here. Is brand new.
Yeah, it's brand new, and that's really going to suit. I mean, our Victorian tracks are the ones obviously we've got the most experience with, and we've got, we've got one out at Keeler, which I think is going to be perfect for these Saharas.
Yeah,
and then we've got 2. We've got one at Knox, and we've got one at Wodonga,
fairly
really local. And I think the Bangkok is going to be really good there.
That's it.
So here's to trying, here's to testing, and but so far, the biggest thing is not getting them without an insert. And really being able to fit them up, and also the 4-wheel drive fronts being utilized on both 2-wheel drive and the 4-wheel drive. So even if you don't glue them up, you don't have to buy as many tires in your kit bag. And they can be ready to deploy at any time. 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. Obviously, they have to be glued up on the suitable wheels.
Absolutely.
But they fit the beads and the inserts of the sweet 4-wheel drive front tire really well.
Perfect.
So really happy with that. Really good. We're all nervous when we get a brand new product, and just as everybody, but it was really good. So really positive.
Yeah.
Moving forward from that, we had Simon on yesterday. I don't know if you touched on that.
We have actually.
And we talked all things DTM 3.1, Cal 3.1.
Yep.
So this is actually an older incarnation. This is the Cal 3. So we talked about all the differences and stuff that he does to his car, certain setup things. So that was really cool.
If you missed that episode, you jump on our YouTube channel. You can find the one that we streamed last night.
Yeah.
And it's a good hour of talking about this car.
Really cool. And the TDK as well, the TDK tire source did take to the tires really well.
Yes, absolutely.
It usually pays, it's not critical, but it does pay when you've glued them up and everything to give them a bit of a treatment and put them in the bag. So that way it gets all the release agent off and really helps them get a bit cohesion to the track. I suppose. Better traction. So that's that.
Great.
So we've done that. We've talked about Simon. What else did we do?
That's it.
We had some funny filming, didn't we?
Did we?
We had some funny filming.
Oh my days.
About what?
Oof,
Let's take
Where is
a
it?
little walk.
You forgot it.
You can have a look at this blue one.
So last which day was it? Monday.
It was Monday.
Monday, we did some painting.
Ta-da! The frog. Now it's not quite finished yet, and I don't know whether you've been. Yeah, that's right. And how different does it look though? How different does it look? If you put it next to each other, they're just completely different dimensions and shapes and
everything.
And weights. Yeah.
Well,
how far they've
granddaddy.
come. That's right. That's right. It looks old and frail somewhat compared to the. This one looks like a monster. So we painted we've been doing build episodes on the frog.
That's right.
And I believe it was episode 5. I might be mistaken. That was the painting.
That's it.
So so we've done an episode of building the chassis, building the shocks, installing the electrics, cutting and masking the body. Then we did one on painting the body. And we did that
painting the office.
We did that. We painted the studio. Luckily, that new extraction system's working really well.
That was mad, at least it's all green now.
The dust was everywhere. So I don't know that we'll be doing much more painting on the episodes. But nonetheless, it was really cool. And look forward to our next episode. We've got we've got some secret. We've got some custom decals being made up.
Yes.
So, and we've got young BJ here is going to help me paint the head.
Apparently so.
The head, the driver figure, is that what we'll call it?
Yep.
So it currently doesn't have a driver figure in there. But one of the thing about these old cars is that they did all sort of have them. And it was a pretty cool feature. So young BJ is a bit beyond my skill set.
Well, you'll learn as I'm going because we're going to be doing this together, aren't we?
We'll do it together.
Yep.
So it won't be with airbrushing or PS1 spray paint, will it?
No.
No, because that will just make mess everywhere.
Yeah. But I need to prime it, so I'll prime it beforehand so we don't gas ourselves.
Yep.
And then we'll do some brush painting.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
And why are we playing around with a vintage frog or re-release frog?
Well. So last year we didn't have much of this stuff in stock, and all of a sudden now we have so many new cars, and there is a big event coming up.
There is a huge event coming up, the Vintage Bash. Now it's still 6 months away, but get amongst it. There's over 400 followers.
Yeah, to the Vintage Bash group.
To the Vintage group. There's people coming from New Zealand. There's people coming from Queensland. I'm sure that there'll be plenty of interstaters visiting us. So that's why we've taken that on board. We're going to be doing another one. We're going to do a comical build.
Yep.
We're going to do a comical build because that's going to be a class there. And I really think the comical vehicles are underrated.
I agree.
So we're going to do a build, expose it, and see what fun we can have. We'll get some content at the track. We had the Bullet at the track last weekend, our ready-to-run car, which brought an awful amount of joy to the world.
I agree.
There was a young family there, and they trialled that out. Unfortunately, the spur gear let go, but I'm really surprised that the car put up with all that, the punishment that it did. It did fantastic to just lose a spur gear. So really good. I wish I had a spare. Like we all carry spare spur gears. You know what I mean? That's just the race.
That's a thing that can happen. Not much
it doesn't matter if it's a Yokomo or whatever.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So anyway, I didn't have a spare, so that was the end of the day for that.
Absolutely.
The vintage one is really cool. Doing a collaboration. I'm not sure if we've spoken about the Granddaddy collaboration behind us yet.
It's coming.
Is that
It's
coming?
happening.
Did you have a look at the box yet?
We haven't said anything about it. It was a bit of a secret, but
is it? I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. If I have already, I apologize because we didn't really have a very long production meeting about today's show.
Not really. No, it's normally like.
So what have we got here?
So we got an interview with Lou Solar, right?
Yeah, Lewis Solar was in.
Solar's car.
This is Lou's very car. Lewis Solar was in having a meeting with us. Now, again, that alludes to the fact that we may or may not be doing a special collaboration. It's going to be later in the year, I'd say, towards the Bash.
Yep.
Where we've really got some traction on that.
Yep.
The Vintage Bash. And yeah, that is super unique. If we can see that in the front camera, the way that car's moving.
Let me see. I'll do these. Just stand it up.
We'll stand it up and do it. That is the Moustache, the famous Moustache shock tower. You can see how the front shock pivot is. So it works independently as a normal shock, and then it does take a little bit of the sensitivity out of the initial turn-in. So the car was really super sensitive to drive and lost. So Lou's idea, this is something that Lou came up with, was a floating somewhat shock tower. So yeah, so heads up, top force build, top force vintage. I think we've crossed those bridges.
That's right.
There's so much to talk about. I'll get myself lost.
But as we talk about limited editions, what's happening?
Let's talk limited. When it comes to all things limited,
I'm going to point this way. I'm not pointing at you. I'm going to point at that.
What's that?
Can you do it?
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
think you can touch it.
You're allowed to touch
You can
it.
touch it. Oh, no.
This is the pre-production one, isn't it? This
Bring it down carefully. Very careful.
Whoa!
Don't do that. This is pre-production, so.
What's happened there?
We've
been let down by the.
That's it. So
here we have.
Do we have a date?
So the date, we don't exactly have a date. If you want to know the date of the release for this particular car, you'll need to sign up to the newsletter. And
what is this particular car?
This particular car is a special Hearns Hobbies collaboration with Night Customs.
Night.
And this is part of our 75th anniversary limited edition. We're only making 10 of these worldwide. And to get one, you'll need to sign up to the newsletter and we'll give you instructions on how we're going to release them next week.
Yeah.
Okay, so they'll be available next week. but unless you're a newsletter subscriber, you won't know how to do it.
I was all open to a 3 a.m. release time. and
Yeah.
getting people out, but Kevin wouldn't let us access to the shop.
3 a.m. is a bit pushing it, I think.
Yeah.
Nick didn't want to get out of bed, so it probably
Yeah.
won't be 3 a.m. That's the heads up.
No.
It's going to be normal time.
So what's in the kit?
What's in the kit?
What's in the kit?
So,
Can we disclose that?
yeah, well, it's all listed down here. You probably
Oh,
can't read it, but
I
I'll
can't
probably
read
have to tell you. So, it comes with the car itself, as you can see.
I told you that you were cooking up some information and entertainment today, mate.
Are you entertained yet?
Yeah, you're the Iron Chef.
With that apron, that's it.
I'm going to be cooking up some oyster fried rice soon. So, you get the kit, and then you also get the Knight's Custom Wild One engine, which has been 3D printed by Hearns Workshop. You also get a copy of the Japanese RC magazine, which has got the feature of the blockhead.
Yep.
And that also comes with a small blockhead parts case. And then there's also a 9-steps speed controller and a certificate of authenticity, which has been signed by us three.
Yep.
And it's all numbered. And then also this band, which differentiates this from any regular
Model.
blockhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're limited to 1 of 10.
Yep.
And there's going to be a special release, and
Yes.
people have to sign up via our newsletter via our website.
Yes,
Yes,
that's correct.
That's right. And
That is
yeah,
something, if I did that, I would probably know what's going on.
Right,
I should
that's it.
probably do that.
yeah, you should do
And
that.
check my emails.
That's right. So the only reason we've chosen to do that is because only 10 is a very low number. So we needed to have some way of making it sort of even for everyone. Like if you really want one, to be able to have a chance of getting
That's
it.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's
That's
it.
pretty much
No
it.
more.
So-
There'll be more information coming throughout the week, isn't
On
it?
the weekend.
On the weekend, yeah.
Yep.
And then there'll be a couple of Facebook posts, I'm sure, next week
That's
to
right.
remind.
Yes.
Facebook.
But make sure you join up on the newsletter and before Sunday.
That's right. So it's all happening next week.
That's
That is-
it.
I'm,
Yep.
I'm really scared now. So
That's
there's only 10 worldwide. Is that what you're
Only
saying?
10. Only 10. So that's one of them. That's
So-
10% right there.
Wow.
2 out of 20.
I'm sorry. Not
And
gonna
it's our 75th year, and it's fantastic.
That's it.
It's really good to be part of it.
That's it.
Now, what's happening next weekend?
Oh, I'm ready. I can't sleep already. Where are the cars?
We had some special deliveries
here.
this week.
Where's he going?
I was gone.
Well,
So-
we've got
Oh,
one
we're
each.
talking about the same thing?
We've got one each.
Oh, can I have? Oh, that's it. Look at that. I want to have my
Well,
car.
that's
Sorry,
your-
guys. I'm going to disappear.
Everybody's off camera.
That's it. No
You got
more.
that?
That's it. Oh,
He's chunky.
she's back. So last time I used this one was exactly at the velodrome last year.
Yeah. And I don't, what was the date last year? I can't remember.
It
But
would have been about
September?
this time,
was not September.
No idea.
No,
yeah? No,
No,
it was the beginning
no
of the
way.
year.
I know September was meant to be and then it's been cancelled. So it was
Yeah,
probably
that's right.
March. You're right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
12 months ago is when we took all these cars to the velodrome.
So this one's had a previous visit.
Yep.
Yep. It looked a little bit different.
It looked a
It
lot
sort of
different.
had a short course body with
Yep.
some wings on it.
Yep.
And yeah. So now we've gone with the Biddy Design ZL21 drag body,
That's it.
because that was the perfect dimensions for what is essentially a modified short course truck, isn't it? It's a
That's right.
four-wheel drive short course truck. Bits and pieces of Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. I love
Now the
Frankenstein.
good thing about this car is it might only be 4S at this stage, although I think we'll get it to 6S on the day.
I'm pretty sure we'll
No,
have
no, 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 no.
maybe 8. Maybe I hear this big control can take 8.
That's
even
right.
though it's not
No,
spec
no,
for
no.
that.
That's right.
But we'll,
Is that this car is actually like geared like 1-to-1, isn't it? This is
Well,
really good.
the pinion to spur is about 1-to-1.
Yeah,
So the
And the
overall,
gearbox ratio is probably 3,
yep. So it's probably geared
3 to
about
1.
3-to-1.
which is phenomenal
That's
because
madness.
that's really what you need at the velodrome. I mean, I suppose traction and handling is one thing,
Yep.
but a stupid gear ratio, that's something else.
Well, you can hear it, can't you?
wow, scary.
Yeah, so it's going to sound like a shark on land.
Okay.
Shark on land.
Yeah, so that is really cool. Whereas these cars here are somewhat production,
That's it. This is
and
stock standard.
they weren't made to go
100
for
km an hour
speed,
plus.
for speed
That's
runs.
right.
They're designed to work on straights, 100, 120 meters
Yeah.
maximum.
Yeah.
Not 550 meter oval track with no,
For 3
no
minutes in
race.
a row.
That's right. So this one here, the biggest pinion we can put on is only like 3 above what we race with,
Yeah.
with no custom parts. We can, however, put plenty of turbo on the speed controller.
Mm.
We'll put an additional 2 cells because usually we race with 4.
Yep.
I think it took 6 cells really easily last year. Yeah, and I think that this car just did it easy. So
That was good fun. So stable.
And we've got the right tires this time
And
too.
we've got a selection of tires, so we can go from super hard to super soft, and everything in between.
And even if it rains, we can go on if it rains. That'll be a
I'll bring the umbrella. And what do you have there?
Yeah,
the comical.
This is the
hot bodies.
This is the comical buggy. And again, this is being raced at an off-road event the following day, so it's really had no modifications away from being a buggy.
Yep.
Other than some comical wheels.
Well, that's going to gear it up, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that is the idea, is to change the gear ratio of it, and the wheels are quite large, but it does look quite sort of Formula One-esque, I suppose, in a comical sort of way. Yeah, so, and I'm tipping that this one might be too much of a handful, so we can in fact put this body on this chassis, which will allow to bolt these tires onto this car. And that will,
right. I didn't know about this plan.
This will get, I think we should say 200 kilometers an hour, I'm going to say.
Yeah,
200.
I could be wrong, but
maybe 300.
I think that could be the way forward. But this one will go over the infield, probably the fastest of any car there.
So there's an infield crossing the oval race.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So lots of events happening.
I think this will even put the X-Max to shame. Well, probably the X-Max might make an appearance.
It will make an appearance.
It will make an appearance.
It's been confirmed, actually.
The X-Max might make an appearance, and that was a comedy relief last time. So that was really cool seeing the car just do a somersault in the middle of the track and just keep driving on. So anyway, the velodrome next week, that's
from
our
12 p.m.
That's our 3 speed entries from 12 p.m. It's going to be a great laugh. We're going to be doing a show trackside.
Absolutely.
We're going to be generator powered. We'll be doing a show. I hope the weather's nice, and I hope the turnout's big.
And realistically, bring any cars. It's non-competitive as such.
No, there's no rules.
That's right.
I think the only rule is that they have to be electric, not nitro or two-stroke. And that was just because of noise. That's right. Noise problems.
And then
electric, and then just open. You can have as many cells or as least cells. It can be 12th scale. It can be 5th scale.
That's
whatever that we can fit onto
they
the
normally
track.
have the insane run as well, don't they?
Everything together, everyone together.
That will be where you get your 3 timed laps.
See who's the fastest.
And that will see out that saw out a few cars last year, didn't it? It really is sort of a day of attrition.
That was a car going through the fence.
That's right. 140 kilometers an hour through a fence.
That's it.
Love it.
Right.
Wow.
Thank you.
That is an awful lot of stuff that we've got through today.
So
I hope you enjoyed it as much as I've had.
I think Marling is going to turn up in a moment.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for having me. And I'm disappointed I didn't get to
You want to put this on?
Taste anything.
You want to taste something?
You can have the rest of the afternoon. I'm going to give you my turn.
You try that.
If I put that apron on, I'm going to wear nothing underneath it.
Cool. That's great.
Look at BJ's face.
Don't know whether to be excited or not.
Of course. All right, guys. Thanks for having me. What about the car?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what we're going to... What waiting for Marlon?
I want to have a talk about the car. I don't know what that is.
Don't say what it is.
I don't know what it is.
Good.
See you guys. Thanks for having me.
We put a little horse on the camera there, so that we give it away. All right, everyone. So we obviously guessed these are Ferrari. It wasn't much of a guess, but
no, that's right.
It was James just before. Yeah, James.
What about the model?
What model is this?
Because with these, I can't keep up with the models of Ferrari these days. It's quite different, isn't it?
Definitely, he is different. But it's actually really nice.
It is nice.
Some of the modern Ferrari, they're not as they have the same character of the traditional stuff, but this is special.
I like the play on their classic red and black as well.
I agree.
Mean, the red is totally different.
Very special red too.
Yeah,
absolutely. Come here, Marlon.
Oh, there he is. Hello.
Hello, guys.
Lots of talking about RC and finally trains.
Yeah. Did we have a look at what Brett was doing with the frog?
Oh, we did. Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
pretty special. He's taken away already.
Really
that's
good.
it.
Yeah, with his signature paint.
That's it.
Yes, it looks good on everything he puts it on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It does actually. You're right. It's very cool when you put all different cars together. They look consistent and beautiful.
That's true. Yeah. But I guess we're talking about trains now, aren't we?
Yeah,
we're talking about the Ferrari. We are.
Oh, we are. So it's been identified then already.
Just
as the Ferrari, because everyone could see the Ferrari badge on the side.
So I think of all of the die-cast cars. Well, this is actually resin, is it?
That's it. Yes.
Of all of the like the collectible cars we've had, this has been my favorite one I've seen, and I think simply because of that candy red paint.
It's so deep. It's
really nice.
Well,
So,
what do you have for us today?
well, we received a lot of new stock from Bachmann and
Right.
Woodland Scenics.
Yep.
So we're just gonna have a look at a few of those items now.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
I've just put them over here.
Yes.
First thing we're gonna look at is we've got one out of the box. I'll just show you guys. It's the this here. It's a Class 4 MT 460 British Railways steam locomotive. This is a brand new tooling, this model, and it had a lot of really unique features that I thought would be really cool to show on camera. So the history of this model is that this is late in the steam era. So this is after World War II. This is the British Railway period when the railways became nationalized. So it's one of the more modern steam locomotives, if you could say that.
That's right.
So let's see if we can get it on the. Got the one out the box here. Here's one we prepared earlier.
Here we go.
Looks
Have
like
a
big
look at some
sucker.
of the finer details.
So,
Bit of zoomage.
What I'll do is I will actually detach it from the tender, maybe, so that's easier to handle. It might not want to, so there we go.
that's it.
Just so that we can more easily handle it and look at it one bit at a time.
Let me see how we go.
That's what I always.
That's
There
That's
we
it.
go. Much better.
That's it.
So yeah, 460 meaning the wheel arrangement. So like 4 lead wheels, 6
Yep.
drive wheels, and no trailing wheels. One thing that I thought was really striking about this particular model is it has very intricate copper tubing and
It does,
pipework
doesn't it?
on the side. And it runs all along the top up to the whistle assembly. I might be able to bring it a bit closer.
It's got a really nice contrast with the dark
Yes.
base color.
Yeah,
I agree.
really stands out. You'd be able to identify this locomotive from quite a distance just from that. You've
Yeah.
got opening roof hatches for the crew, which
Oh,
is
right.
really nice. I'll turn it around. I think very, very gentle because there's a lot of really fine detail in this model. You've got a nicely detailed cab area with plenty of room to put crew figures if you would like to.
Hmm.
They've got a fairly well sheltered work area with doors. They're not opening, but you've got doors on the side for weather protection. And you've got what could be a generator or part of the braking system here, which is a really nicely modeled, quite intricate
It's amazing seeing
part there. Yeah.
that mix of pipes going everywhere.
But one of the most interesting things, and you guys might have spotted it already, is that the firebox door is hinged, and it's a very, very small hinge assembly. So I'm being very careful handling it. But the firebox door, if you're really careful with it,
Wow.
That's
actually
open.
opens up.
It's got a little magnet.
Nice.
Yeah,
It's come down a
a
little
little
bit.
bit. Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
So if you had a scene where you had a turntable or an area where locomotives go to get serviced,
Yep.
you could have it, parked and looking as though it's being serviced by crew. So I thought that was a really nice feature. And again, it's a very delicate hinge.
Has that been done on anything else? I don't
Not
recall
that I
seeing
have
that.
seen.
It's a very new feature, actually. As you can see, all the newer locomotives, they're having more features, like the opening roof,
Yeah.
more details overall.
So yeah, it's a unique design. Again, this is a new tooling from Bachmann.
Well, the valve gear looks really good too, doesn't it?
Yeah, very intricate. So yeah, if you have a BR era railway set from the 1950s to the late 60s, they ran these clear up till the end of steam.
Yep.
So if you're modeling that sweet spot, then yeah, this is a very, very good choice for that particular era. I think these were used primarily for freight. They were used as a sort of like on the more lightweight gauge lines as sort of a more powerful alternative to like a tank engine, but
Right.
without exceeding the weight limit on those lines. So yeah, seemed like it was pretty well suited for purpose. And then you have your tender as well. And that's
Amazing
nicely
how they
done
do
as well.
the coal to have those facets on
The
it.
shiny kind of like,
Molded in.
reflections.
Yeah, molded in. So it's a simple arrangement. There's no power pickup on these wheels, and the decoder is fitted inside the locomotive rather than it's DCC ready. So a decoder would need to be fitted for DCC. One thing that I thought was really interesting was that as part of like the weather protection for the crew, even the tender has walls with windows on it for the crew to
right.
look out
Wow.
to the rear of the locomotive. So that's kind of a unique feature that I haven't seen before on any other locomotive yet.
Interesting.
So yeah, so that was really cool. And we've also been looking at, I'll just grab this off. We've got some new arrivals from EFE Rail,
Yes.
which is a division of Bachmann. They do some rather unusual, sometimes more obscure models that don't really fit within Bachmann's plan, and these guys sort of fill that gap. We've got these nice, they're a bit of a later period, I'm going to say 1970s, 1980s era wagons. And I'll just open it up. It's hard to appreciate the level of detail because they wrap the models so well. Oh, you got some like brake hoses. Yeah. And it looks like, I didn't know this was in here, but this is like a lattice of timber put on the wagon, between the load and the wagon.
All right.
And that's a nice little feature. But we'll open this up. Very nicely packaged. And I'll be careful because I'm pretty sure that this is removable. But it's
Wow.
weathered.
Look at that.
So yeah, 2-axle freight wagon.
Really looks like fabric, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's some plastic molding.
Yep.
But they've
It's got
done
that sag on the texture.
That's right.
So that's some of the nicest details I've seen with plastic emulating fabric.
Yep.
And the wagon itself is nice too. So BR Rail Freight does have swiveling bogies. It's a slightly longer wagon than your standard 4-wheeled wagon. Yeah, very nicely done. So this is wrapped up in plastic, of course, but the idea is that this could fit inside, and then whatever load you decide to put in there, whether you put this container back in or have something that allows the the belly of the wagon to be visible.
Yep.
That's a really nice detail, and I haven't seen that done before. The one that's in the box is the exact same wagon, but non-weathered. So if you'd prefer things to look neat and tidy.
That's heavy weathering.
Yeah.
This one.
Big difference, isn't it?
One is really dark. All the orange and disappear. Wow.
Well, slightly different scheme on the tarp, but same sort of arrangement. So yeah,
you can see how the white lettering is all dulled off.
So
I guess they
factory
do look
fresh.
like that, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, within a short period of time, they would look like that. So yeah, whether you want the factory fresh look or the well-worn look.
Yep.
EFE's brought out quite a few
options,
quite a few wagons.
Yeah.
So I will pop this aside.
I can tidy up that later. In the meantime, we're going to bring in
Thanks, guys.
some of the buildings, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll grab the buildings for you.
Oh, thank you.
So this is one of my favorite, actually.
Yeah. So this is Bachmann Scenecraft. It's a pretty wide range of in both HO, double O, and N scale or N gauge. They're pre-made, pre-painted and weathered cast resin buildings and scenery items. So this is a holiday coach based on an old railway wagon.
Wow.
And it's been converted into a holiday coach, into a place to camp, like a little bunk, I guess.
Yep.
So they've released this both in like a white and green scheme and also like a white and red as well. So a few variations, yeah. So let's just, I guess we've got one out of the box. We can have a closer look. Comes in a few different components. So first you have the chimney that goes on the roof.
Yep.
That will need to be glued down.
Yep.
It just fits into this spot here. That's a nice little touch, but it doesn't sit flush. So that's something that would need to be fixed by the person putting it on the model. So yeah, it's just, I'm not sure if it's based on a particular prototype of an actual wagon, but
Look how it's got the bricks.
It's
it's a support, got the support structure underneath it.
Yep.
You've got the little ladder with a brick texture on that as well, which is really cool. And there's also, there we go, glazing in the windows, which is always a nice touch. I always appreciate when they do glazing in the windows. And underneath, it's not just a hollowed out shell, there's actually a floor. So if you're looking at this from ground level, it doesn't just look like an empty hollow shell.
Yeah.
So that's really, really nice. It comes with I'm going to say it's like a front porch.
Yep.
That just fits over the front of it. So if you had a scene where it was like holiday makers or like a camp, or even say like on a railway siding where one of these might have been converted to office use by the railway itself, this is a really good idea, I think.
Agreed.
I noticed that the roof is sort of pressed down as well.
Yeah, it's very.
It's like a worn, sunken roof.
Yeah, it's not entirely flat. It looks like it's
There you
been
go.
beaten or stood on or just beaten down by the weather. I'm not sure if it's removable. I don't
Doesn't
think
look
it
like
is,
it, no.
because I was wondering if it could be taken apart so you could put lighting or figures inside, but I'm not certain if that's an option. I'd have to look at that in more detail.
So the base is the part where it's been glued together. So whether or not you'll be able to crack open from there, you might be able to put some lighting in through the bottom.
Possibly, yeah. Don't want to get too carried away with that now, but it has been really nice to be able to have a look at that. And you're right, that detail on the roof is what really sells it for me.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Now,
I might leave this in the box simply
That's it.
because the detail on it is very fine. It's an N gauge. This is Graham Farish. This is Bachmann's N scale or N gauge division.
Might do the zoomy.
They also do. Oh, that's great. They also do as part of their Scenecraft range, buildings and building accessories in N scale. So this is the parachute style water tower, and
got all the rivets on the side.
yeah, it's got
that's right.
really
And
nice
chains.
rivets, and handholds. There's a really nice ladder on the back, and it's fully detailed, ready to go on an N scale layout. So it's really fantastic level of detail. We've been waiting for this one to come in for quite a while, actually.
Yeah, that's nice. Even that faded pink looks sun bleached.
True, actually. The weathering, as always in these models, the weathering is really impressive.
Yeah, so I really like the look of that one. Even this this really tiny, like this shaft where the chain is suspended from. That's so small.
Yeah.
So really good modeling work on their part producing these. And just to illustrate, I guess we can zoom out a little bit now. Just to illustrate the two different ranges. So we've got, this is a new one. This is a low relief building. The idea behind the low relief is that you could put this up against a wall or a backdrop and create the illusion of a larger city scene without actually needing to create that
space.
It's a really good idea. They do a lot of low relief buildings. They're very popular. So it's like an Art Deco style cinema. This one's in 00 scale. I really like the tile and the brickwork and sort of the Art Deco motif that they have along the top. So anything from like the 1930s through to now, this would look really nice. And they also have produced the exact same design in N scale or N gauge.
That's a mini one. Let me see if I'll do the crazy zoom.
Quite often they'll do this. They'll release products simultaneously in both scales, which is nice. There's quite often you get envy.
Just to give you an idea of the size of my finger. Let's see where I'm going. There we go. Look at how sharp those details are. It's such a tiny item.
Glazing on the windows again. Nice doors.
True.
But yeah, it's really nice that you end up not being envious of, oh man, the other scale got this really nice building. But with Scenecraft, quite often you'll get both the N gauge and the 00 scale versions released simultaneously. So no one's missing out really.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I like the
cinema sign. Yep. Nice and big.
It's just begging to have movie posters put in the windows, I think.
That's true, actually. Some graffiti too, maybe.
Yeah, maybe some graffiti. Or some lights. You know, this would be a really great opportunity to add some custom lighting. But yeah, really nice examples. We got a lot of new Scenecraft buildings for both scales. And this is just a small selection of that. It's always good to have more of these.
I agree.
But yeah, that's just a quick look at some of the things we've received.
Really nice.
From
Very nice
Bachmann.
indeed.
Huge delivery. And
Absolutely.
every stop we learn scenics.
That's it.
All the different, scenery products, accessory gadgets, and tools actually. So everything is back in stock.
Yeah.
Very good.
Good
Awesome.
stuff.
Well, thanks a lot, guys.
Nice.
Thank you, Molly. Very
I'll
informative.
kind of clean it a little bit.
Yep.
That's
I'll
fine.
leave the rest to you.
All right.
Thank
Have a
you.
good
That's
weekend.
mine.
Very good. That was brilliant. This locomotive
That's
is
nice.
fantastic.
Really nice.
And the building is something I always really enjoy.
Hmm.
I have a couple at home for when I'm retiring. I can do my set, my layout.
Retiring. That's your holiday house.
Yeah, I'm going to move in here.
Right.
Yes.
Well, technology would be around back then. Isn't there a
That's
movie about that? People shrink and they
That's
can
it.
save a lot on their real estate and
That's
retire in comfort.
Moving in there.
Yep.
Meanwhile, a very good friend of ours has guessed the car.
Really?
I think we have it correct, but let me read it.
Has been guessed correctly?
I think.
Can I guess incorrectly?
I think it's been guessed.
Is it close?
Yeah, very,
What is it?
very. So,
Oh,
our good
yeah.
friend Sam
Yeah.
is guessing that this is an SF90 Stradale, but it's actually Spider. Very close.
Which would mean the top comes off it.
Yeah,
That's why it's black.
that's right. Very close. Well, we have guessed the current date. So, this is a brand new release from BBR,
Yes.
and we have 3 colors.
Mhm.
This is not my favorite, as we know. The other ones will come later.
Yes.
But this is probably the best color.
This is pretty good though.
This is a work of art as for the overall quality.
There's
and
so
in
much
fact, so much depth.
So much depth. Yeah.
So let's put this top camera. Let me see. Probably the lighting won't give justice. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Probably not bright enough, is it? Let me see if you can just give it a bit more light. Maybe like this. Let's see. It's better.
So you can see how it changes the depth of the color as it goes through the different
What
angles.
is it?
Because we have candy colors, it's basically a clear red,
That's right.
which is used to tone.
Yeah.
And then it's on top of a metallic finish to reflect the color.
That's right.
Okay, so that's why you get all this depth, because the more coats of the clear you put on it, the deeper the red gets. And also it collects within the crevices as well.
That's right.
So that's how you get that.
And
Really interesting.
the natural design of this car with all the different shapes, as you can see, the door has got this kind of concave a little bit here, and change of shape is very, very.
Yes.
I guess it works really well with this type of paint. Really,
Well, you can really see that angle pick
That's
up from
right.
there, can't you?
Yeah.
And this one's also fitted with the special wheels.
Yes, actually.
So
Very
this is
interesting.
not the standard wheels. These are the very open 5-spokers.
Yep.
And there's a roof section. So this will be the part that comes
Comes
off to
off.
convert it into a
Yep.
spider. And then you'll see engine details. There's actually open in this panel here. There's a little
Yep.
vent to go into
Yep.
the engine. And then there's carbon fiber finish on these vents across here, just in front of the wheel arches.
Lots of carbon fiber actually hidden in all kind of spots, even on the front here.
Yep.
They're all. There is a skirt here, which is a carbon fiber kind of little insert, and then all inside here is all carbon fiber again.
And it's got that F1 look as well.
That's
you,
right.
see those 2 teeth
True.
on the front,
True.
which
Looks like
makes it look like a front wing off an F1 car,
Yeah.
that lower apron.
that's true actually.
Very open.
Very
there.
aggressive.
Yep.
Front lights are very interesting too.
I mean, look at that. That's,
Split like
that's how
this.
you'll see it. Driving down the road behind you,
That's
as
it.
you look in your rear vision mirror,
You probably won't see it because it's too low.
and then you hear this big engine noise,
That's
and then
it.
suddenly it's going to be looking like that from your windscreen. And that's quite interesting too. It's got the high-mounted exhaust lights. Exhaust pipes, I should say.
Yeah.
Actually, where are the lights?
The lights
Oh,
are
they're
here.
hidden here.
They're red on red, so probably
Yeah.
going to be really hard to see. They're very well hidden away, so they don't like a big traditional light.
No, that's right. And then let's see if we can get some of this carbon fiber detail.
That's it.
This way.
Up, back a little
Is that
bit.
it?
That's it.
There's your carbon fiber.
That's it.
And it's not just there. I'll be able to see more there as well. That's quite spectacular. Then let's see if I can get a little bit at the back here. The carbon fiber rear apron as well. Might be a bit hard to see. Oh, that's better.
Wow. To the
Quite
lights,
impressive, isn't it?
that's impressive.
Amazing the detail they achieve. And also look at the gloss on this Duco. It's just
Yes.
amazing.
It's almost metallic, isn't it?
I guess it looks metallic because it's probably a silver base, I think.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
can see through the clear
You
red.
definitely need the silver to get a candy
Yes.
effect, really.
I think silver works the best. You can do it with like a white, but I think it wouldn't be as deep a red. You got your little Ferrari badge there as well.
As always,
Teeth
BBR
in front.
produces some of these spectacular models. So this is a limited edition, as they always are, but this is 1 in 40, and this is number 8 of 40 from memory.
It is number
Yep.
8 of 40.
So there's only 40 made worldwide in this configuration. and this is the number 8. So obviously this is a racing model in 1/18 scale. Like most of the car that we present are part of this really bespoke limited edition racing models.
Yeah. Spectacular.
Very much so. In the coming weeks, we'll have... No, we can't say that.
What?
No, can't say that.
Too much of a secret?
Yes. We give it away.
That's
It'll
not
be too easy to
fair.
guess the next one.
Really?
Yes.
Not fair at all.
Fantastic.
All right.
Very good.
What do we got now?
I think we're going home.
Are we? Is it that time?
I think
No,
so.
can't be.
No.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what a show.
Yeah, it
Lots
was
of
like,
people today live, actually.
Oh,
So
really?
thank you, everyone, for joining us. Probably a lot more than the last few weeks, actually. So
Okay.
that was great. So thank you for joining us. As always, just feel free to drop comments, message throughout the week so we can actually bring products for the live.
that's right.
We've done some experiments. We've done some soldering live,
Yes,
which went really well.
it did.
Did not get burned. So happy to attempt some more tutorials.
Sure.
So really happy to demonstrate a few things. if we can.
Anything is possible. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
just give us your ideas and we'll work out bringing it live to you.
Absolutely. So just a reminder, we have the velodrome coming up next Saturday,
Yes.
and we have this Sunday the release of the limited edition 75th anniversary
Blockhead.
So jump on the newsletters and
Yeah.
make sure you read it Sunday morning, 5:45 a.m.
Are you sure about that?
I have a degree of confidence that newsletter is going to go out at 5:45 a.m.
All right. All right. So yeah, so look out for that because that's going to give you instructions on how you can obtain
absolutely.
one of these, and then it'll be available during next week.
Absolutely.
So keep a lookout on social media as well. We'll have a few other tidbits of photos of the car itself, and keep everyone excited.
there is a video presentation actually of this kit.
There
which
is
a not an unboxing, it's a boxing video.
boxing video.
It's a boxing video. So jump on YouTube. We have a video there showing what's inside the box.
Yep.
And I guess as always, we have a video going out every day.
That's right.
Tutorials. We
Yep.
actually show you how the product works. So we've done quite a few tutorial on tools like God Hands,
Yes.
and we actually test them like we've done this time around. So
Yep.
it's not just a showing boxes. It's just proper testing. And
That's
sometimes you know what the product can do. Sometimes it's
right.
surprising for us too, by the way.
It is.
Um,
Well, look, I'll have to admit that I learn quite often when I do things as well.
Yeah.
Because even though I have the theory in my mind,
Yeah.
because a lot of it is theory until you try it. When I actually try it, yeah, you learn some things that change your mind.
I truly remember when I was recording the video on the drill bits,
Yes.
and we're testing in normal drill bits versus the God Hands, and the difference was like astonishing. So
It's chalk and cheese.
absolutely. So we got to try, and we try our best to kind of test all these tools and just trying to show what they can and can do.
And so if you didn't know that newsletter subscribers also get to see a special
That's right.
video before anyone else does. And the last one is actually about chrome paints.
That's
so,
it. That's right.
So that'll be coming out shortly to the general public as well. So look out for that next week. But that was really interesting. That was a learning
very
curve
good
as well.
exercise. Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. All right, everyone. So you
All right.
have a good weekend. We'll see you next Friday, and then again next Saturday, actually live
That's
at the
right.
Velodrome. So 2
Velodrome
episodes
version.
again next week. So
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
absolutely. All right, everyone.
All right.
Again, thank you for joining us. Have a good weekend.
See you later.